child labor in chocolate industry.
Arms and legs inside the car. Our journey begins just outside the factory, in the dairy fields of Hershey, Pennsylvania. Mr. Hershey built his factory here for one very important reason.
And that reason is the pastures full of cows. It provides one of the most important ingredients required to make Hershey's milk chocolate.
All right, thanks, but we'll take it from here.
But I was just about to tell you.
It's all about the milk.
Well, that's true. Here at Hershey, it really is all about the milk. In fact, it's the milk that gives Hershey's chocolate its unique taste. And who better to tell you all about it than our official welcoming committee? As you'll see, it's all about the milk. It's true that milk is an important part of the process, but let's start at the beginning, here at the Hershey factory, where the cocoa beans arrive from tropical areas all over the world. From here, the beans are sorted as computers supervise the process, sending the cocoa beans through cleaning machines, like the one on your right. Any dried pods, stones, or other foreign matter are carefully removed. Hershey's quality standards are of utmost importance to us, and only after the beans are cleaned and screened are they sent on to our blending machines. Cocoa beans have different flavors depending on where they're grown, and blending machines, such as those on the left, combine beans from various countries in just the right proportions to maintain that unique Hershey's flavor. With the beans blended, they're then sent ahead to be roasted in large revolving roasters, like this one. The roasted cocoa beans are then ready to move on to the next stage of the process, a process that will begin to transform plain cocoa beans into Hershey's milk chocolate. It begins right up ahead with a process known as breaking. With the beans now roasted, they arrive here at the breaking chamber, where the shells are shattered into tiny fragments. What's left is called the nib, the part of the bean actually used to make chocolate. The nibs now pass through milling machines, as seen on the left. This grinding process generates extreme heat, which melts the nib into a liquid called chocolate liquor. Of course, this liquid has no alcohol content. This is the liquid from which all chocolate is made. Next, this large press machine is used to squeeze cocoa butter from the chocolate liquor. This cocoa butter will be added back later in the process to make the chocolate smooth and creamy. Well, now we come to that all-important element, milk. And who better to tell us about it than the experts themselves? The gals are right. Milk is how Hershey's chocolate gets its special flavor and the extra added nutritional value. As the gals say, it's nutritious. In fact, hundreds of farms around this region and thousands of cows supply over 250,000 gallons of milk each and every day. We're now in central blending. It's the heart of the Hershey's chocolate-making process. Here, milk, sugar, and chocolate liquor are brought together and mixed in just the right proportions to create that special Hershey's taste. As the milk and sugar is combined with cocoa, it's mixed together until it becomes a smooth blend of milk chocolate. But we're not done yet. From here, the liquid chocolate leaves the large containers in this chamber, where it will be dried once again. Yes, that's right. This liquid mixture is now conveyed to dryers, such as the one you see on your left. The dryer removes excess moisture, which results in chocolate crumb. The machine up ahead adds cocoa butter into the mix, which transforms it into a smooth chocolate paste, ready for refining. What's that wonderful smell? That's right. After all that shaking, breaking, baking, and flaking, we're finally coming up with Hershey's milk chocolate. But there's still a ways to go before it's finished. On your left is a series of roll refining machines. The refining process grinds the chocolate until it reaches a uniform and smooth consistency. Next, as seen on your left, the chocolate is further refined by a unique process called conching. These heavy rollers refine the chocolate for up to 72 hours until it reaches a silky, liquid texture. The material that leaves the conching process is called chocolate paste. These machines supply production lines with over 1 million pounds of chocolate paste per day. Now, after all that effort, we're finally ready to make a Hershey's chocolate bar. Here on your right, chocolate bars are leaving the molding line. They're then cooled and removed from the molds, the final step before being wrapped. And with our milk chocolate made to perfection, we then add peanuts, almonds, and other extras to create a world of wonderful chocolate treats. Here you see the completely automated wrapping machines, putting the finishing touch on Hershey's world-famous chocolate and candy products. And our tour wouldn't be complete without seeing our famous Hershey's Kisses. Hershey's Kisses are made by dropping a precise amount of chocolate on a moving steel belt and quickly cooling it to form the famous Hershey's Kiss Shake. We can make over 60 million Kiss Shake products every day.
Since Tete Kwashi introduced cocoa into Ghana in 1789, cocoa has become a major income-earning crop. Cocoa contributes about 37% of Ghana's gross national product and gives employment to over 2 million farmers. Due to the revenue it brings and its color in the ripe stage, cocoa has become known to Ghana as a golden pod. Cocoa farms in Ghana are generally small family holdings with average sizes ranging from 2.5 acres to 23 acres. From the year 2000, there were media reports that the cocoa sector of West Africa, including Ghana, was rife with child trafficking and labor, with children being made to work under harsh conditions. These reports led to the promulgation of the Haken-Engel Protocol in September 2001. The protocol required the cocoa and chocolate industry to work in close collaboration with the government of West African nations to develop a system of growing and processing cocoa without the use of worse forms of child laborers. The West Africa Cocoa and Commercial Agricultural Program, WACAP, was introduced by the International Labour Organization from 2003 to 2006. WACAP revealed the existence of worse forms of child labor within the cocoa sector and proceeded to institute some remedial activities. The government of Ghana recognized the benefits of working within the framework of the Haken-Engel Protocol and proceeded to establish the national program for the elimination of worse forms of child labor in cocoa.
A lot has been done in respect of improving a lot of children in the cocoa growing areas.
The goal of the national program for elimination of child labor in cocoa is to eliminate worst forms of child labor in the sector by 2011 and contribute to elimination of worst forms of child labor in other sectors in the long term. To meet these goals, there are 7 strategic objectives to eliminate worst forms of child labor in cocoa. Others include the development and implementation of interventions for eliminating worst forms of child labor in cocoa, promotion of universal basic education and human resource development among cocoa growing communities.
We are working within a framework, what we call certification model. The certification model has 4 steps. The first is to research, what we call data collection and surveys, research, to identify the problem, the extent of the problem, the nature of the problem. Then the second, after we've known the problem, then we publicly announce to everybody the existence of this problem.
The pilot survey covered 3 cocoa regions and 6 districts and 24 communities. So we have 4 communities from each of the districts. The scale-up survey was an expanded form of the pilot.
The pilot survey found a school enrollment rate of 91% and attendance rate of 71% among children working in cocoa farms. It also found that 88% of these children live with their own parents or with close relations. About 25% of the children reported working without protective clothes and equipment, while over 60% reported carrying heavy loads.
To school na me come to say eduma na me yana enye twaso ne ntia mi se me be school say me wo pie no me ka chan papa say me be school e no si yo e no si mini school atade ntimi twen and the beti koko na e da koto school atade say me ko bon no ti koko mi so a school atade so onto e na me wo pie.
There was, however, no standard to determine what a heavy load really was.
It is about the nature of the activity and then the environment in which the activity is done, as well as the duration.
The scale-up survey of 2008 revealed that 92% of children who took part in cocoa farming activities attend school regularly, and 99% of them live with their parents or close relations. It was also noted that some children still undertook activities considered to be hazardous.
For instance, children actively involved in, let's say, pesticide application. That is not permissible. It can harm their long-term development.
A key activity of the National Program for Elimination of Child Labor in Cocoa is the development of a hazardous child labor activity framework. The framework is a means of accurately determining cocoa farming and processing activities that children should not be permitted to undertake. Until this framework was developed in June 2008, it was difficult to say concretely that an activity a child was engaged in was considered to be hazardous.
When you take a child using the harvesting hook to pluck cocoa pods, high up cocoa pods, you say that child is in hazardous work. Children using long cutlasses, that's adult cutlasses, we say they are. Children who climb up the cocoa trees to cut mistletoe, we say that kind of work is not suitable for children.
We have a kind of knowledge-based information through which we can use for advocacy and programs.
The results were disseminated during stakeholder sensitization workshops in all 46 cocoa growing districts in the country, at ministerial meetings and community derbys. Sensitization workshops were organized in all the 46 growing districts of Ghana, where stakeholders were informed about the nature and extent of worst forms of child labor in cocoa.
Sensitization has different aspects. We go to the districts and talk to district stakeholders. We also go down to the community and talk to community members themselves, including the farmers and community members.
interventions have come in, and well, farmers are now being sensitized, and children are being encouraged and to go to school.
We have intervened at that level to work with families through sensitization, but also with physical support.
Initially, we form partnership with the district assemblies. Now, the district assemblies come out with district child protection committees, and then they discuss child labor activities.
Remediation hinges strongly on the district assemblies and the community members. Participation of the district assemblies is a means of ensuring continuity of remediation efforts through its conclusion in district medium-term development plans. Participation of traditional leaders and other non-governmental organizations also ensured that various community perspectives were captured in interventions.
In the initial stages, there was a bit of resistance because of lack of understanding. Now we've gotten to a stage that people have come to understand that it is not that, but rather don't go beyond the capacity of the child, and don't do it in such a way that it breaches the law. Don't make the child do activities that will impede the child's attendance at school or benefit from school. And don't let the child do activities that will hamper their development or their health. So the understanding has come to that level.
Currently, there is much improvement in the project that we are doing. The various communities were assisted to come out with their own action plan. And the action plans that were designed by the various communities, they are followed and it is yielding fruitful.
What we have done is to really find ways and means to put the children in school, and also to let them understand the concept of children's rights.
And those who are in school, we support them with learning materials, school uniforms, spare footwear, anything that will help them go back to school or stay in school.
Really, I could see that he's doing well. He's doing well. They have accepted it. So I don't see the children doing such works again.
Your committee no womo SSNko womo said aduonum 25, but they say nipa 17 there womo regular. One mo na ehwe se enkwara no ye obia ebeko school ye hwe sa kwara bia be na mbasbasa.
Community sensitization, we do it. The District Child Protection Committee also come around to do it sometimes too.
Wa ma oba anko school na wo de ne kofuo mu a watomra na committee no ene wa ka ho asem ye no ka ho asem ne tuufo na wontia na wo de wa ba hemfia ha na wo de wo ba hemfia ha de a ye twebo na to ho ne afa 100,000.
You don't just identify the children and place them and it ends there. You have to regularly visit and monitor so that you know the kind of problems they are now having and how to provide other support to help them.
Sama boy, I'm a blame pambuan in Tallinn school. I'm medical school. I'm a school pambuan. I'm a bag. I'm a book.
Implementation started from 2006, and we expect that it will end in 2011.
They see ankwala ne de yemfa wo monko efum nti edu school da ne de akwala ko no woko na obekọ beba no nso na je se eduru anyumre nya de a wo awofo no ko betimi akọ ba bi no aka se wo de wo ba na isan akọ nti yemfa wo monko
tia memre da na bia nko fu ma na ase me ko na duara ko si fiara de se yare ni ho de a school no de ni ho agro.
The national program has also created a partners forum which convenes 3 times a year for partners to share best practices, plans and challenges in elimination of West Frontier child labor in cocoa.
And what we've been able to do in terms of sustaining the program after we leave the community is to let people understand the concept of children's rights.
Left to me alone, I will have missed he stays forever in this school.
The independent verification team did their assessment on Ghana 2008, and they have unconditionally accepted Ghana's reports. And so it means that Ghana has done very well in terms of all these activities. And we will continue to improve on our performance to make sure that all children in cocoa growing areas get access to social amenities and be able to attend school.
Ghana is truly committed to eliminating worst forms of child labor in cocoa. The children are learning the art of cocoa farming in safer ways and also attending school to add to their knowledge. Whatever it takes to ensure that children in cocoa growing communities develop safely and soundly would be done. With continued support, the national goal will be achieved.